Oops. Okay, so just to recall for you that for this particular molecule with 3 atoms, I have shown a big mass with a bigger circle and 2 identical mass with a smaller circle. These are like the bond length changing. This is, it's an asymmetric kind of, it is going here in an asymmetric way, this one is going in and this one is coming out. Okay. These are bond length changing, this is bond angle changing, okay, and these are symmetric stretching. Okay. So, this you would have seen in the video also. So, we would like to see how to get these pictures from group theory. You know it physically for this 3 atomic non-linear molecule with 3 atoms very nicely. I have given a simple example, and is it true if I give you a complex, if I give it in your exam some 10 atoms, will you be able to do it, is the question. You will all be little worried, but I am trying to simplify it and tell you now this methodology of what I am going to show in the next few slides will show you how simple and powerful the tool of character table tensor products actually plays a lot of role. It is just manipulating only matrices, and you can see that you can get these diagrams drawn from those matrices. Okay. Still it is a suspense, but you will see it today by the end of today's lecture. I hope I can drive in the fact that normal modes of at least the non-linear 3 triatomic molecule you can understand from this picture. Okay. So, long method I have gone through right now. So far whatever I have done in the last half an hour is really a long method, and can we use group theory to determine them. Okay. Okay. Now comes the matrix representation. I have tried to use the basis so I am going to use the basis Q1. Since I did the long method, first let me confine to this long method and I will use the basis. So, this was x1 plus x2, right. These things were derived by the long method. Let me for completeness write the basis for these and then worry about how to get these bases also in the next step. Okay. First, since we went through this long method, we know that Q1 is one independent degree of freedom, Q2 is another independent degree of freedom, and Q3 is the third independent degree of freedom. Okay. Q2 is actually x1 minus x2, and this I think is z1 plus z2. Okay. This was known, the right hand side was known because of the long method. Okay. Now, in this basis I want to write the matrix representations of all the elements of the C2V symmetry of that molecule. Okay. So, C2V is the symmetry of the molecule. Of the trilinear, non-linear triatomic molecule. Okay. So, remember the picture, I had a bigger mass here, two smaller mass here, and I have used a notation z axis, x axis, I think this one was x1, z1, this one is z2, x2. Okay. So, this is what I am using as the degrees of freedom in the xz plane for every atom in that molecule. Yeah. Yeah, this is capital M, this is identical, that is right, that is the way I am looking at it. I am taking it is, you assume that the molecule is quite heavy and you are putting the axis through that molecule and do the rotation C2. Correct, correct, I am assuming all those things. Okay. So, another way of seeing is that if I put an axis through this, if I do a 180-degree rotation, these two will exchange, and if I put a mirror here, then these two atoms which are identical will go into each other, and if I put a mirror on this plane, this is like, you know, it remains, it goes into itself. This atom goes into itself, this atom goes into itself, that is also a symmetry. So, C2V is a symmetry of such a molecule under consideration. Okay. So, now how do I write in this basis? In terms of the Q1, Q2, Q3 basis, I want to write the matrix representations of all the elements of C2V. Okay. So, identity element is trivial, but if you want to write the C2 element, what happens? So, what does C2 do? C2 takes x1 to minus x2, x2 to minus x1, okay, in the directions which I have taken. So, what will happen to Q1, which is x1 plus x2, under C2 operation, Q1 will go to minus Q1. What about Q2? That is the difference, that will go to somebody, x1 will go to minus x2, x2 will go to minus x1. So, Q2 will go to Q2, no change. What about Q3? Okay. So, the corresponding matrix representation for this, which is a 3 cross 3 matrix, it better be reducible, because C2V is an abelian group with each irrep being one dimensional. You cannot get a 3 cross 3 matrix. 3 cross 3 has to be reducible. For the C2 element, in this basis Q1, Q2, Q3 will be such that when it acts on Q1, it should go to minus Q1, Q2 should remain this, Q3 should remain this. Tell me what will be the matrix? Minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Is that clear? So, write out for the sigma V, treat it to be the xz plane. Sigma V is also like the identity matrix as I shown in the screen. Okay. So, identity element is this, C2 element is this, which I worked it out elaborately now. Sigma V is the xz plane, you will not change x or z coordinate. So, Q1, Q2, Q3 will remain invariant, but if you take the yz plane, x coordinate is going to change sign, right, and you can show how the elements in Q1, Q2, Q3 are modified. Okay. So, this element I have not worked it out, take it to be the yz plane, and do the same exercise I did for C2 and fix the in the Q1, Q2, Q3 basis, write down this matrix. Okay. So, what have I done? By the long method I had found out that Q1, Q2, Q3 essentially will contain the normal modes. Now, I have written a reducible representation for those 3 coordinates to find which linear combination of Q1, Q2, Q3 will actually give me the normal modes. Okay. Instead of doing that diagonalization of matrices, I am going to now play around with matrix representations for the C2 V group. Okay. So, we need to find which linear combination. In fact, we should find that Q1 is untouched, right. We know that also. Q1 equation was completely decoupled from Q2 and Q3, right. Is that clear? Okay. So, character table, yeah. Which matrix? This matrix? So, I have to do the gamma of C2 when acts on Q1, Q2, Q3 should give me minus Q1, Q2 and Q3. This is the meaning of this. Q1 goes to minus Q1, Q2, x1 goes to minus x2, x2 goes to minus x1. So, x1 minus x2 remains same. So, I need a matrix which when acts on Q1, Q2, Q3 should give me this. So, what is that matrix? So, you have to make this diagonal because they are all diagonal, and the first element has to be minus 1, the 2, 2 element has to be plus 1 and 3, 3 element has to be plus 1. This means this is the matrix. Is that clear? Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Should we go ahead? Okay. So, back to our character table, basis states and so on. Okay. This representation reducible, I am calling it as the notation I am using on the slide is V. It is a reducible representation, and you can find the characters for the identity element. Of course, trace of the 3 cross 3 matrix is identity, and Y XZ plane will also be an identity matrix. So, that trace is also 3. This one trace, of course, you can see that the trace turns out to be 1, right. For the C2 trace is 1, and similarly for sigma V prime, which is the YZ plane, you can find out what is the trace. Okay. So, once I have this, what do I have to do? I have to find out what is the number of times any of these irreps occurs in the reducible representation. Okay. Then it will tell me what are the irrep language for the vibrational degree of freedom or the normal modes. Okay. Okay. So, do that exercise. Break that gamma V, A1 appears twice, and you have B1 which appears once. So, totally rank 3 is broken up into 3 rank 1 irreducible representation. Okay. So, this is the first step. The next step is what? If I want to find the actual degrees of freedom, what do you have to do? You can write a projector in the space in these matrices which I have, write a projector and do the projection to get the basis states in the Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. I will leave it to you to check it out and see what you get. You understood? So, given this, you can write a projector for the A1 representation. This projector will involve character of A1 times the gamma V 3 cross 3. Okay. Check the rank of this matrix. Because V is broken up into A1 twice, I would think that the rank is 2, and find the basis states. Okay. Will you do that? So, PA1 on an arbitrary vector should give me a piece which is 1 0 0. What does that mean? This is Q1. Okay. One of the vibrational modes is exactly Q1. Okay. So, Q1 is x1 plus x2. Clear? One of the vibrational mode is exactly Q1. If you find this, but I am going to leave it to you to check this out. And if it is a rank 2 matrix, should be able to find 2 independent bases, linearly independent bases. The other bases should involve not this one, but the Q2 under Q3. Is that clear? So, this part I am not doing it, but please check it out and then do that long winded diagonalization to see whether you get the same linear combination of Q2 and Q3.